Chapter 6.5. Yes. You get 1 to 5. Sorry? Trimester 2. So, 6.5 is the easiest chapter there is. When you can make 6.5, you can make everything in chapter 6 because you've understood everything. In a factory that makes shoes, we give an example of 100 were tested. They placed a few at the back. All these are bad. They said, how many have faulty stitching? They brought 12 to the front. And then they placed them back in the back. And then they said, how many have faulty gluing? They brought 15 to the front. And then the manager says, well, 4 of them have faulty stitching and faulty gluing. That means when I brought 12 forward and then I brought 15 forward, in those next 15 I brought forward, there were also a few that had faulty stitching. That is why the intersection at 4. Why intersection at 4? Because 4 of them have faulty stitching and faulty gluing. The question is, how many only have faulty stitching and only have faulty gluing? To represent this in an easier way, right now you already know the answer, which is 4. I have a total of 4 shoes. But do as if you do not know that there were 4 shoes. You don't know. Bring all the shoes with red stains forward. You would say 2. Red stains, you would say 2. All right. Bring all the shoes with green stains forward. You would bring 3. But the total amount of shoes is not 5. Because you have 1 that was brought forward twice. So, back to the original one. 1 has what? Green and a red stain. So how do I know how many are only have red, only have green, and the total amount? To figure out the total amount, easy peasy, you count everything together, which is 5. And guess what? You subtract the one that has been counted twice. So how many do you have total? 4. There is your answer. In this specific case, the one they gave you, you do not know there are 4. You don't know that. They only give you 3 red stains, 3 green stains, and 1 is red and green. That's it. And this is 4. They say here is 12, and there is 15. If we look at my example, how many only have faulty stitching? Remember, the one in the middle has been counted twice. So how many only have faulty stitching? 12. Subtract that 4.
Did you see my purple umbrella?
Bradley took it. So only 8 have only faulty stitching. And here is glue. How many only have faulty gluing? It's easy. Correct. 15 minus 4. Only 11 have faulty gluing. These 4 have faulty stitching as well as faulty gluing. Easy peasy. That's it. If you can figure this out, all of the equation exercises, they're all the same. The same questions, the same way to make them, they're all the same. So, to move on to the next one, this one can come in a variety of ways. Never forget about the you. Does the you? Everyone. In a group of 25 cricket fans, 16 have seen West Indies play England. 8 of them have seen West Indies play Australia. 4 of them love mathematics, so they don't have the time to look at cricket. If you count 16, 8, and 4, you will notice something weird. It's more than 25. That is something you notice immediately. And it says we only have 25 fans. So something is missing. People have been counted twice. And you have to figure out, okay, what is that twice? Who was counted twice? Because they said, who looked at the game against England? 16 people. Who looked at the game against Australia? 8 people. But then again, a bunch of them raised their hands twice. Yes? So 16, 8, and 4 is more than 25. So you have to find the intersection, which is the amount of people that were counted twice. So how do you go about it? As the one before, you notice that you always subtract those who have been counted twice. Total is 25. They say here is 16, and this is 8. 4 only played mathematics. They were on YouTube for those 6 hours practicing. So, the question is, how many people only looked at the game against England and only looked at the game against Australia? That's what you figure out. In mathematics, everything you don't know is X. Because I don't know what it is. It's X. It's an unknown. And I know to find out the true number of the people that only looked the game against England, I have to subtract what? Those that I counted twice. Same with the ones that looked at Australia. So instead of giving you a number, it's now X. And then we move very quickly to chapter 4. And chapter 4 says, when I count everyone, the answer should be 25. So we make an extremely simple and easy algebraic equation. 16 minus x. I add x, which is the intersection. I add 8 minus x. I add 4. And I said my answer has to be 25. Place the like terms together. X minus x, 0. Let me just place it. Should equal 25. 16 with 4, 20. Add 8, 28. Minus x plus x is 0. Minus x is minus x. Equals 25. So minus x equals minus 3. X equals 3. So there were 3 people that raised their hands twice. So how many people only looked at the game against England? 16 minus 3. So it's 13. 8 minus 3. Answer is 5. So the intersection here is 3. And if you count them together, 3 with 13, 5, answer is 25. It does not get any easier than this. Oh yes, and the 4, my apologies, and the 4. 4, 13, these 4. Yes. Of course. And now we have one that you can practice on. Bam! Wow! This should take you no less than 3 minutes. We can make 8, and then n is something you can get in a paper 1. Stuff like n gets in a paper 1. You should be able to see it just by reading it. Yes. Oh, 4.2. Is it binary? Binary operations. Eight. So the first step is to draw it naturally. That's your first step. Draw it so you can see it. Everyone equals 40. Everyone equals 40. American stamps and African stamps. They say 37 American and 31 African. 37 American, 31 African. 31? Oh, 27. So, find A. Find how many collect both American and African stamps. What we just did. You have to find the one in the middle. So easy. That's X. There you go. X. I don't know how many that is. Wait, I wait 6. Don't collect neither. 6 don't collect neither. So, 27 minus X plus X plus 31 minus X plus 6 has to equal what? That has to equal 40. 27 plus 31 plus 6 minus X plus X minus X should be 40. So, 27 and 31, 58 with 6, 60, what's it, 50, 64 minus X, that equals 40. So minus X equals minus 24. X equals 24. So, A, how many students collect American and African stamps? 24 students. B, how many children collect American stamps but not African stamps? So I need to look at this part. And that is easy. That's 27. Subtract that 24. 3 students only collect American stamps and not African stamps. That was chapter 6.5. Easier it cannot get. No. Now, I have a request for binary operations. An operation asterisk is defined as P asterisk Q, which represents PQ, P squared plus Q squared. And you get 2 numbers. P represents 2 and Q represents 3. So what is the answer? That is the answer. Binary operations can come in different forms. PQ plus Q plus P. Yes? Yes. I literally placed this in the test. Literally that one. I placed that in the test. I literally took that exercise and placed it in the test. Two asterisk 3 4. All right. So since we know brackets go first, you know that P is 2 and Q is 3. That means the answer to this is already in the first one. There it is, 13. Sorry, 13. You already know that answer. So, in term, this becomes 13, 4. So you have to do P squared plus Q squared twice. Taking the answer of 2 asterisk 3, which is 13, and doing it again with 4. So what do you get? 13 squared plus 4 squared. It's 169 if I'm not mistaken, plus 16, and that answer becomes 185. Yes? That is how I know if you make homework or not. I just take exercises from the book. And if you can't make it, I know 200% you didn't practice. 6.4. Which page? Which page? Where? 6? Write a number x such that x is an element of the natural number but does not belong to the integers.
Ito po na all is positive is over natural. When it goes through section.
Natural number and not a integer. That is an empty set. It's an empty set. All natural numbers consist of integers. If it's a natural number, then of course it's also an integer. Negative whole natural numbers. So that's an empty set. It does not exist. But B does exist. I can write -5. Because natural numbers are only positive numbers.
Wait.
Any negative number.
Any negative number.
But at A, no, it does not have to be an integer. And an integer is positive and negative numbers. So that is an empty set. Empty set. No. An empty set is this or that. It's an empty set. It's empty. It doesn't exist. The Van der Graaf reversal set is U, show the subsets, N and Z. So you have to draw different Venn diagrams. N and Z. There is 7. N and Z. That's the first one. Draw a Venn diagram, N and Z. That is why A is not possible. It consists of those numbers. Z and R. Wait. U is real numbers. Yep, Z outside, Z inside.
C inside, R outside.
R outside. Z and R. Chapter 6, the easiest chapter there exists. No, chapter 7 is the most difficult chapter that exists. Yep. You have to look at 7.7. You have to find the angles of those. And in order to find these angles, you have to memorize theories, which we will discuss in chapter 2. And starting the second you learn this, it will be in every exam you get, just so you know. As soon as you learn chapter 7, it will be in all exams. Yes, it's 7, 8, 9. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we finish at 13. Something like that. Or 12. After, as soon as we begin trimester 2, these are the following things you need for chapter 7. And the other two, I already think you know what they are. Why did I place an asterisk here? Because in the exam, you cannot use it. So in the CXC exam, you cannot use it. It's not my rule, it's their rule.
Orang pag-isip nyo, gusto yung mga friends na rin yung school, tapos